Well, hey everybody, this is the overview video for week 4 of English 3301, Professional Technical Writing. So first off, I need to apologize. I didn't get a video out last week. I got a little under the weather. You can hear me, I'm a little froggy now. And then we had a bunch of annual review stuff due as faculty last week, so it kind of got a little bit away from me, but I'm back on this week. So I just had a few short notes to share this morning with you to kind of get us set up for week 4. So real quick, let's go in and take a look. Week 4 of the course, there it is where we are, and we're talking about document design and illustrations this week. So the assignments and everything, all the normal stuff is there. I will provide a few more notes in a slideshow later this week about document design. So look for that forthcoming. One of the big things I wanted to talk about in this video is just give a few notes on the forums. For the most part, I feel pretty good about what's going on in there. You know, the point of posting our work in the forums is to practice, explore, and talk about some of the principles and the concepts that we're reading about in the Essentials of Technical Communication, just like we would do in a regular class discussion. So the idea there is to see different examples of how people are doing things, the different choices that they're making in their technical writing, and not necessarily to wail on each other's grammar and spelling. So you know, that's a little bit of helping people create better texts is good. But let's remember that the discussion is really about trying to talk about the stuff that's going on in the textbook, concepts, theories, examples, and that sort of thing. And you know, everybody's being very collegial, and so that's good. And I just want to emphasize that that's really the purpose of the forums, is not necessarily to critique each other's work, but instead to talk about what's working, and to talk about, hey, this is a really interesting example, and I think this isn't, here's another thing that you could do. One other thing to point out about that is, as we're in the text and, we're working with these figures and talking about, okay, well, here's what's going on here, and a lot of the exercises ask you to suggest changes or suggest solutions. If you're reading a text and analyzing the text and you can't find anything wrong per se, that's okay. And remember, we're not just talking about grammatical errors. We're using the criteria that are built into the chapters to evaluate texts. Even if you can't find anything just egregiously horrible and wrong, it looks okay to you, still you should be prepared to describe the specific things in the example that you think are working pretty well. Just as you would point out specific problems with arrangement, clarity, or brevity, or tone, or alignment and contrast and headings. Now, if we need to go ahead and explain why and make a case for what looks good. What are some examples? What are some theories or concepts or principles that you can apply from the textbook? Do as well remember to elaborate on your examples and make a case for things based on the content in the text, right? Well, I noted on page 23 that good technical communication does this, and figure 1 doesn't do this. For example, if we look at this line, when the author does this, right? So go into detail about those things. Most of all in the forums, remember that we're here to learn, and not just to be masters immediately, like a goddess sprung from Zeus's head. So if you're not sure, ask. Okay, so this week is running as normal. We're going to do chapter 5 and chapter 6, and some of you have already posted that work, so that's great. A few things to look for later this week. I'm going to post a video later this week that's going to talk about your first major project. If you haven't looked at that already, do remember that if you go to the main course content page and scroll down, there's this overview text about all of the major projects and what all of them focus on. And then there are individual folders for individual projects. The first project is this reference sheet. So if you haven't already, go in read the summary, download the complete instructions. That'll open a Word document that you can check out and keep on your computer, and that'll walk through the various steps. Like I said, I'll post a fuller description and discussion of what we're doing with that project and walk through the examples a little bit. That's coming up at the end, and really at the beginning of next month, but it's something to start thinking about and talking about. So do make sure that you've looked over that if you haven't already, and watch for some video content coming later this week. Okay. Well, I think that's all that I wanted to say this morning. Other than that, I'll see you in the forums. As always, you can email me or stop by my office. A few of you have done that already, and that's great. If you have a question or a problem or just want to stick your head in and say hi. So, have a great week and go do some technical writing.